Hi there, how's it going? I can see you've joined me for an episode of Transport Fever, and what I've done here is opened a one by one easy flat European map. And as you can see, we're in a little place called Buckingham, and one of the things that really irritates me is that they put some commercial buildings in and they're both the same. Unless of course this is a big family and they don't like changing the family name or the design of the building they're working in. Anyway, having said that, let's have a look at this map. They call it flat. Well, it's flattish. There's no huge mountains. Quite a reasonable amount of roads already in there. And this one's quite good because already we've got the ability to create food. There's a farm, and over here we've got a food processing plant. Absolutely brilliant. Now also, this town here is on a fairly straight road, Buckingham to Sandy, and at some point we could also get Nuneaton connected, but from a transportation point of view, the question is, do we get rail in very quickly? And looking at this map, that is a fairly flattish route. I'm probably inclined to say let's get railway in. We may need to borrow a chunk of cash, but in the early days that's what we need to do because we'll make money later. And I'll also start getting farm produce moved across to the food production plant over here, and I'm going to do that by road to start with. It doesn't transport huge amounts. It does take time, but I want to get passenger transport working fairly quickly. That's where we'll get the most money and we'll see most things happening. Looking at the rest of the map, nice river here that divides the area into two halves really, and at some point we'll be able to get passengers moving by ferry from St Ives to Sandy, and obviously with a bus stop down here to Frome and Wisbech, but of course they'll be connected by rail or bus at some point as well. The other useful aspects of this map, well, what have we got? We've got over here an oil well, and down here we've got a where did I just see it? I've lost it now. I did find the oil refinery earlier. Now I'm going to have one of those. Oh, there it is down there. Oil refinery down here. Over here we've got a chemical plant. Over here we've got an iron ore mine. Over here we've got a steel mill. So all we need to do is get coal and steel into that, and we'll be able to get some steel produced. That'll be handy. It also produces slag, and that's used for making construction materials. So not a bad map. These two towns here, quite a long way apart. I won't deal with those at this moment in time. And I think to start off with, this is the area to concentrate on. We want to get the farm moving, and we want to get some tracks laid down and some stations put in to build up these two cities. Now, this particular city, Buckingham, we're going to have a bus route in there as well that gets us to the station, and down here we'll have another bus route down which takes us to a station which we'll put in a bit later. Now, one of the things you have to consider is which way do we want the stations to go and how many platforms do we need? Well, I always tend to use the stations that run parallel to the road rather than the ones that come off as a terminal. The terminal I think is a bit limited. The parallel stations sometimes can also give problems when you put them in because of elevation. We'll see when we put some in, but the first one to look at I think is to get Buckingham laid out, and we can see up here we've got a lot of industrial down this area. You can see by the chimney stacks, they're industrial. These are commercial, and residential's over here. We can check that by looking at our land use. Green residential, yellow is industrial, and blue is commercial. And if we're going to put a rail station in for passengers, we need to be close-ish to the residential. Having said that though, by putting a bus route in, that will get passengers round to the station. So my favourite really is to get a station maybe around here. That will mean extending the road and it would also mean coming across this road as well. What I'm going to do is pick a station up first of all, and we'll go down here to the rail symbol. If you open up, make sure we're on passenger, make sure we go to the station type. That's the terminal, that's a standard station there. And what I'm going to do is look at how many platforms. I always want to put 2 in. It does put the cost up, but it saves messing about later. If I put in the station there and jiggle that around a bit, I'm using N and M. Not too bad in terms of elevation. We haven't got sort of a high point and a low point. It is slightly raised there, but that doesn't matter. And if I do put the station in here, we are actually at the end of a road. Now, is that a good idea? Well, it won't matter so much because we can put more roads in. I also want to get a bus terminal in, and I'm likely to put that down this area here. So I need to stretch that as far as I can out, bearing in mind that we're not going to go any further north with this station. It does beg the question then, shouldn't I put a terminal in? Well, oh yeah, I think you're probably right, he's shouting at me. Why not put a terminal in? If I put a terminal in, we can put it down here, couldn't we? And that means it will come out, it will then serve that station there and that station over there at some point. So should I put 3 tracks in? No, I'm only going to put 2 in for the time being, and I'll probably come back at some point later and change that. Let's move that around. Let's have that in fairly close to the residential property. You can see they're going grey. That means they'll pick those up. That's a sort of zone, an optimum zone for that lot. Doesn't get much over here or over here, but a bus route will sort that out. I need to drag that out quite a distance because I want to get the bus terminal in at some point. Hopefully it will go in there. I'm going to put that a bit further down there. It clicks off, and I'm going to probably drop it in there, which is okay. The next question is bus terminal. Go back to passengers. We've got the bus tram station there, bus tram station there. Do I want to put trams in? Good question. Let's leave it like that. Let's just put it in anyway. And I'm going to twist that round, and I'm going to bring that into here. If it lets me go in. Does it let me go in? No, I'm not interested. It'll let me go there if I do that. And that is what I want to do because I want to keep that road. And I want them very close to the station. So, what's it going red all of a sudden? Drop it there, that's fine. So we've got the bus tram terminal in there, we've got a rail station there, 2 lines, and we can then think about putting a bus route in. The next question, of course, is what do we do about the farm? It's got to go from here along this road, along this road, along this road. It's going to take quite some time. If I put a rail track in, I could lose some of these fields, which isn't a good idea, and it's quite costly. I'm going to put another rail station in here. Now this one, should that be a terminal? We'll be going along up there to this one, and at some point along to there and along to there. So ideally, I want a 3-line station in here. Oh, that's going to cost a bit. And elevation wise, where's the best place now? I think up here might be a good place to put it, around here. So let's go back to the trains. Let's go to an ordinary station. 690, around 300k if I put it in here somewhere. That's for 2-track. If I put it in there, I've got to get that line across here at some point, unless I do some demolition. Could twist it, I suppose, around here. Makes it less of an issue with the angle. Something like that, that would work. And that's 130k for 2. If I chuck 3 down, how much does that bring it up to? 163. Well, we got 2.81 million. Sorry about that. if I put that in there, I've not gone. I've only got 160 metre. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to have huge trains. I never do. They cost a lot, so I'm going to put that one in there. Now, how much have we spent? 264, and I haven't yet got a bus station in. Need to go back to bus station there, and I'd like to get them as close as I possibly can to the stations when I put these tram and bus terminals in. Sometimes it's difficult to fix in. It looks like there's demolition needed there. It doesn't like that connection. I can't put it on that side. I could chop off that house. One building will be removed. Go on, chunk, it's gone. That's job done. And as you can see, I'm on pause at the moment, so nothing's actually happening. I'm just spending money, lots of money. And now let's have a look over here. Can I get a track down and can I get a train down? I reckon I could get track down there. Just one line at the moment, but the problem's going to be getting a train in. And where do I put this track? So I come in between these fields, bit of a wiggle there. I want to go straight as I possibly can, and I want to keep the cost down. So that field there's a possible loss, unless I keep really, really close to that bend and then come round so I've got more bends in place. Or do I come down that side? Now that might be a better solution, mightn't it? If I come down that way, I could get close then. The line would be close to the iron ore mine, so there'll be a line in place and close to that. Yeah, I'm going to come down there. I'm going to go towards that farm goods processing plant. So we'll get the line in, standard track, nothing brilliant, and I'm going to eventually go off to the left across to Nuneaton. So I'm going to bring my track, I'm going to take the right hand track here and come out, and I'm going to drag, you see, get hold of it. How much did it cost me so far? So, cool, look at that, there's a huge embankment there. 93 just for that short distance. Crackers, isn't it? Absolute crackers. How much should I go further? Well, what if I go down and do shorter distances? The problem with shorter distances, of course, is we start getting a bit of a roller coaster effect, and that doesn't keep passengers very happy. I'm going to go to as far as I hunt 300. Oh, look at this! It's just going absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? Let's well, I'm going to put it there. That'll do for the minute. 95k, 2.46 million we're down to, and let's carry on with the progression out this way. Now that's cost me what, 74. Now that was that. If I'd have put that all in one go, that would cost me around 400k. So it's 95 and now 78. If I get across that road, now I'm going to go for the roller coaster. I'm going to go for the roller coaster today. Up and down, up and down. Never mind. That's fine. And let's drag this one across. We're still at 75 miles an hour, and of course it doesn't really matter in the early stages because the trains are so slow. We now need to come round. We need a bit of a bend in there. We've got to come past those woods, get across here, and join that station over there. And at the moment, I'm going to come in a pretty sharp angle. There'll be a pretty serious bending down here, so I could come this way. I come over there and come round. 149 that way, 105 that way, 107. Let's save me some money, and it also will help with that bend coming into here. And the other thing, of course, is because I'm going to go left and right, platforms, the first two platforms closest to the river, and don't forget we've got 3 on this one, we'll go to those 2 stations. So I'm going to use the top one there to join up this track. Now, my favourite manoeuvre here is to take the track out here and then join them rather than bring the track in. So we'll come out, get off. It talks some rubbish sometimes. Too much curvature. What are you playing at? We'll come round. We'll put a bit of Don't forget, I've got to get some more. I've got to get more track through there to come over here. So that's got to come out seriously. And where are we? We're over here, there, and I've got to bring it round. I could do it in one go, I think. But let's see how much it would cost if I did. 131, not joined it up yet. Plunk. It clicks there, look, and the arrow disappears. 149, job done. How much money have I got left? 2.16 million. And we've got a passenger station. As always, what you have to look out for. So many times I've dropped these stations and discovered afterwards no passengers are going anywhere because they're good stations. So they've got the good old passenger sign with this carry case, that's fine. And now I've got to put in a depot. Depots. Now, this depot is going to feed this station and these two lines. And ideally, I'm going to put lines in now because that road will build up and we'll lose the ability to get more lines in at some point. So let's pick up the line again. Let's drag out. We'll just drag out straight across. We'll just go out. We'll just go out here for the minute, and I'll drop him in, and I'm going to put another one in. They'll be parallel. That's fine. And that one's dropped. So any building now will have to negotiate that rail track. And similarly, on this side, we'll do another exactly the same because we want some goods are going to come in by train at some point. And there's the town we've got to get to, St Ives. So I'm going to build in another line out to I'm going to put a line in there, and that will go to that station. And I've used, which line have I used there? And I use the middle one's coming out, so that's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine. I've got no problems with that. We've got lines in, so buildings are going to be difficult around here. So that's okay. Now, to get a terminal in over here, I'm going to have a line that connected to that, and this connected to. So I've got to come over. If I put a terminal over this side, it's got to come off here, across to there, and then across to here, so we get all three lines serviced. Can I get a line in over here? That's the first question. Let's see what happens if I try to drag a line in. If I drag a line in, I've then got to, okay, I can get a line in there, but over here I've got to cross the track over, and I need to put a cross in here. So I'm going to put the cross in first. Why am I going to put a cross in? Well, at some point trains are going to be crossing lines to get across from one line to the other. So let's drag this up, and sometimes it's just is not interesting. You've got to get this position. Too much curvature, we're too close. I don't want to go too far, but I've got to remember I've got to get the other cross in. So if I drop that in there, and I'll say approximately the same place, and I'll drag that one over here, and we're now in. So we've got a cross in there, and now I need to bring another line into here from here, and it's got to come in before the cross starts. I could come out this way and join it up. That might be a better answer. And why is it over there? We've got not a bad curve in there, and we join that up. So there we are. We've got our lines into this station. If I put a terminal up here, That will be able to get into that station from trains coming that way. Won't be able to get into it very easily. They've got to go into the station first, which isn't a good idea. So over here, if I'm going to get up this way, the terminal has to be this side if I'm going to come in this direction. If I'm going to do that, then trains who want to come, no, the terminal, that's fine. All the trains that are going to have to go east, left and right, in other words, from there to there and there, will have to come into this station first. Is that a good idea? Well, I mean, could I put the terminal somewhere else? Would it make it easier if I put it on this side? Would it be easier? If I put it on that side, then it could go that direction, that direction. So this side would be better. I've got to do a similar thing with my crossover points. I've got to put lines in. Let's get the line. Let's do that. Let's do that. Put the terminal over here. Parallel line on that side. That's fine. And if I can manage it, I'll bring another line over here, there, and we'll make that cut off. We'll drag that to there, and I need to now do crossover on all of these tracks and put a terminal down here. Let's cross over these two first. Let's cross this one onto this one. This one onto this one, and then I'll cross this one, not here, because that's where there's a slight elevation there. I'm going to cross here to here, and here down to here, which is fine. Now the terminal needs to go in to here. Bring the line out round first of all. Look at that. See, that's not joined correctly, so we need to ignore that one. Cross that one off. Come past the points. It's not happy about me doing anything here. Okay. Is that joined successfully? Yep, that's joined up. A tree there. Thank you very much. Bring that further around to there. And now we need a rail depot, which is this one. Depot there. I need to get the orientation, N and M. Spin it round and click, it's joined straight up. Do I want the train to go over this direction to start with? No, I don't. At some point I'll make it go over there, but now we've got a train terminal in. That will serve that station. It will then allow trains to go over to there and eventually over to here. But for now, we want them to come up to here. So let's get to the depot. We've got 2 million to play with. Let's put a buy trains up to start with. We've only got one train we can go with. We better buy that one then. And do we want carriages? Yes. How many carriages? Well, if you put 6 in, you'll find that very quickly they get used up. And how many passengers? 6 passengers. It's the only passenger carriage we've got, so let's put 3 of them on. No, I'm going to put 4 on. Let's go mad. It's going to be slow, but at the moment, 25 miles an hour top speed and 25 miles an hour. It can tow. It's got 30 tons, 68 horsepower. These are 5 tons weight. We've got 4 of them. They should be all right. Yep, fairly good ratio there. And we now need to put a line in place. So set line, new line. We need to drop the first station in to there, and the next one, because it's the only connection we've got, is going up to Buckingham, which, if you remember, is up there. So we've got the line in place. That will go backwards and forwards. And if we start simulation, let's get back over to our little terminal, because we want to see the train come out. And let's see what happens when we kick off. Down to there. And we should be working now. Okay. The doors are opening. You can see now. And in a second or two, we should see the little, look at these, are they incredible? Look at the detail on that, marvellous, isn't it? Quite wiggly, that track, but I don't know. In the early days, a bit of a wiggle, it's not a problem. So, today, what have we done? We put in our track, we put in our terminal, we put in our stations. We've decided that we're going to get the passengers moving to start with. That's the priority. And for today, I think that's quite enough. I've been going on and on, rambling on here. So we'll leave it for there. And when we come back next time, we're going to get the bus services working for these two stations. And I'm also going to put a few roads in to connect up. I don't like these crosses. I want to have some sort of circuit around the town for the buses to go around. And over here, this is the other town we've got to keep flowing. We'll probably get some sort of road connection from there to there, and also from here to here, this side. Buses on there, so we'll get that moving, and we'll then start thinking about getting our food being supplied. So we need to obviously connect up our food processing plant to our farm. So thanks again for joining me today. That's all for now, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks and goodbye.